I think willpower is the most important thing you can ever have as a person, as a man or woman, you know? Because overall, like, everything can be taken from you. Like, your house can burn down. You can then, from the stress of that, then you can like lose a bunch of weight, lose your gains, lose all your muscle. You know, you so someone in your family can die. You can have, and then on top of that, like your best friend stabs you in the back. Like you can have all of that happen to you. But when you have that willpower, you hold on with everything in your soul, everything inside of you. You'll push through. There will be a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, there will be a light as long as you hold on to that willpower. You hold on to the strength you build, and yeah, you need to have that mental fortitude, which I mentioned in the previous video. Odysseus has from the Odyssey, the movie. Just came back from seeing that. I mean, obviously this video is like a few days ahead, but I saw it on this video is recorded on the 17th of July, which literally just came out today. And I just came back from seeing it. I was just gonna see it again at IMAX. Anyway, yeah, yeah. Mental strength, I think, is the most important thing you can ever have, because it's not ever it can't be taken away from you, right? All the physical things, as I already mentioned, but all these physical things can be taken away. Like when I look at people who are so obsessed with like designer things, or like, for example, if there's a kid who he's grown up in, let's say he's born in like Dubai, right? Dubai, the UAE, like very like grown up in like a very like, upper class family, luxurious, like everything's just handed to him. Like he doesn't have to work a day in his life. He's actually got like all this inheritance, and like, how do you think that kid's gonna end up? What do you think his mannerisms are gonna be? Well, and that's what, obviously ultimately it all depends on the father, how the father teaches him. So like the father can like just like never ever pay attention to his son, and the son could just be a little shit. He can just be like just disrespectful to like waiters, and and that can, and unless you're like and with the father not being there for his son, like barely seeing him, let's say, not giving him that time, not to discipline him and tell him, no, don't do this because of this and this. These are not good for you. These will harm you negatively, ultimately, in the long haul. Because it's not good for your soul, ultimately, right? Like things we see on TV and movies and those kind of things. If the disciplinarian, the father, isn't there, then, and he's watching things on movies and shows, and he thinks, I know, if he watches Friends, let's say, and then he becomes more feminine because the men in the show Friends are very feminine. It's very touchy feely feelings, all that. Yeah, like that kid would just end up with no good morals. Like think about it. He's grown up with like Friends, like boring, silly Hollywood movies where there's just a bunch of feminism and the men are all feminine. No strong father to discipline him and tell him, no, this is not right for you. This will actually corrupt you, like in the long haul, in the long term. Do this because you'll feel better ultimately. And for example, with training, right? Like training is a massive thing that a lot of people just overlook. A lot of people see like someone with a good physique in the street, and then just think they'll be jealous of them, or they'll just think, oh no, it's lucky for them. It's easy for you, it's easy for you. You know, what's easy for me? You didn't see how they were 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 5, 10 years ago. So a lot of people who built their physiques started out. Some people like were like skinny like this, or like obese like that. You know, and they had to come from that starting point, and overall, first they had to keep going when there were no results, because in the first like few days, can you make any progress at all? Like, yeah, of course, but it's not going to be visible really, unless you work like a dog, let's say, like, but you have to work crazy hard for that. And for example, Adrian Broner, the former full-time world champion, he's like but not, let's just say, like, I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone, because no one deserves that, no matter their circumstance, no matter if they've put themselves in that situation. You always help that person to be better and get back to their best self, Basically Adrian Broner has like in the past like week, he's been on like a 45-day fitness challenge, like just like a challenge to get himself back to where he was. I don't know if he's gonna fight again or not. That's not the important thing. The important thing is him being healthy, being content in himself, you know. But yeah, in 1 week he's made amazing progress. Like he lost like his whole gut. Can see some abs again. So like pectoral definition in his face, you know. So yeah, and that's because he was surrounded by strong guys, right? When you're surrounded by other strong men, like there's no way you're not gonna do some work, you know. Even if you're a complete pussy, you know, you're gonna end up doing some push-ups, some bench press, some pull-ups. You're gonna go for at least like a mile run. You know, you're gonna do something, and then when you go home, people are gonna see the positive impact they made on you, and they're gonna be like, wow, you know. And then you're like, oh, it's that much on me, and yeah, great. I should go and stay with those guys again, and go box them again, and do pull-ups and push-ups and all that, you know. So yeah, if you don't have strong individuals around you, and you've grown up with a lot of slop, we'll call it, right? It's a lot of brainwashing from Hollywood and you know the shows and movies how they are. Then you'll just be you'll be a very like weak, timid boy, you know. See the look at my face even like it's just like yeah. You need to have that strong masculine community around you as a man, especially as you're growing up as boys, right? So like even like kids, even like so small as like 5, 6, 7 years old, when they see like their dad is like lifting weights like in the shed or something, or like, I don't know, they see it from like from the kitchen window or something, right? They see like they can see from the window that their dad is like lifting weights, going really hard, and then he has his boys around, they're sparring, they're boxing each other. One day, like the dad comes in, he's got like a black eye, and the son is like really worried, like, Dad, are you okay? You know, his wife is like really worried, you okay? You okay? What happened? What happened? And and he just like he kind of just like he smiles and he's like, I'm okay. Should have seen the other guy. You know, says something like that. He has the humor to it. He just puts them at peace, at rest. Like even though he's in pain, it hurts. It freaking hurts. Yeah, black eye will hurt, of course, right? And his nose is swollen as well, and he's got something else in his rib. He doesn't complain. He doesn't say anything like that. He knows he can come back to his family inside. He brings like the peaceful energy back in. He has a peace from his wife, from his young son, you know. Yeah. Be that be that role model. I'm talking to obviously this is a video for men. Obviously women can watch it as well, but my message is to the men, that to young boys, you know. Be that role model that your mum, your sister, you know, already thinks you are. You know, be that strong individual. Like for example, if your mum has just come back from Tesco Sainsbury's, she just parked in the driveway. You can hear she parked in the driveway. Doesn't matter whether you're playing a game, you're working, bro. Sprint downstairs. I mean, I just go downstairs straight away, and help her with the bag straight away. You know, greet her with a smile. How's your day? And pick up the bags for her. Don't let her touch any of them. You know, as a man, it's your job to protect and to provide. Right? Do everything in your power. You know, obviously, I'm not saying like if you I don't know, if you just passed out and then you just woke up and it's like well, I need to go and help my mama. I just hear her in the driveway, and then like you get up too fast and you stammer down. Like no, obviously take the time, but I'm saying everything in your power you can do. Help the woman in your life. Help the woman in your life, and that brings you that one. Of course, that helps them amazingly, and they feel so cared for and protected, and calmer than themselves, right? Because of course, like women have a lot more like thoughts in their head than men, from what I've heard. So be that peace to them, and not only do they feel like cared for and provided for, protected, at peace in them, like calm, but you have that pride as a man. You have that pride as a man to do something as simple as just taking the groceries like from the boot of the car. You know, your mom's just parked in the driveway, and you're taking the groceries and bringing it inside, and then even offering her a cup of tea. You know, doing those things, they will go so far. You know. And even if let's say you're away on like a business trip, or let's say you did that when you were 14. You picked the groceries from the car and put them inside for your mom. You did that when you were 14, and then even like 10 years later, when you're away like on a business trip, or you're married with with your own wife and your own children, your mom just like remember, she remembers that, and that just brings like such a joy and like peace to her heart. Like, even though my son isn't here as much anymore, like obviously she'll see you tomorrow or whatever, but like it's yeah. So those things, kindness stays with people more than you think, more than you think. I was talking about mental strength and willpower at the start, and now I'm gone to this. But yeah, always be there for the people in your life, for your mum and your dad, your sisters, your brothers, and those simple things really, really make a difference. Really will help people and show them you care. With women, I've learned that it's not always just about they don't want you just always to fix their problems. It's not like they tell you a problem they've had at work or something, or in the church community, mosque community. This lady did this, whatever. It's not about solving the problem. They just want to. Sometimes they just want to be heard. Sometimes they just want to be heard, and because like I said, like women have a lot more thoughts in their brain than men, right? So yeah. Because like yeah, it's hard to be a man, but it's hard to be a woman as well. 100%, right? Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll leave it there. Let me know if you have any questions about this, any comments, anything. I'd love to hear from everyone. Any topics of debate you don't think I'm right on this, you disagree with me on this, please put it down below. Put it in the comments. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So all right, bye.